tea was actually cold. Because it stops me waffling on and I can newts and toads and Hello creative souls, and welcome to this week's video. For those of you that have recently subscribed, hello and welcome to my attic studio. My name's Claire. I'm a self-taught mixed media artist and I just love to share all my art materials, so welcome. This week I'm going to be talking about Tombow Dual markers. My sister bought me a floral set that consisted about 4 or 5 pens a couple of years ago now, and they've just sort of been in a drawer gathering dust. But I decided to take them on holiday with me. So if you've seen the last video, I do mention them in that video. I went on to open stock on Jackson's Art and I bought a few more. I've already swatched them in this book. This is my Sea White journal. I bought a pencil case for them to go in. I'm hoping that it's going to be long enough, so I'm going to share that with you. And I've come round to using water brush pens, and I've bought myself a new Faber-Castell brush pen. So today I'm just going to have a little bit of a play with these dual markers and see how I get on. Anyway, I've got my little clicker here that again I've been faffing around with, trying to charge it up and make it work, Bluetooth. And today I'm using my microphone, which is balanced here on a saucer, because I've got my windows open today because it gets quite hot up here in the attic studio, and it's a beautiful sunny May day. For those of you that read my Substack as well, I talked about having a wildlife pond put in a couple of weeks ago now, and so I'm going to share a quick update with you at the end of this video. My last video about my travel art kit and taking it on holiday was a success, which was really wonderful. A lot of hard work goes into these videos, so I'm so pleased that many of you have found it. And so to all the new subscribers, hello, welcome. Thank you for your support. To my old subscribers and to my new subscribers, it really is helping this channel to grow. And so I just want to welcome you to my attic studio. I love this little clicker because it stops me waffling on and I can just click myself on and off. I'm just sat here with my cup of tea. This is goldenrod and knotgrass, which apparently is very cleansing. So I was just sat here thinking, what do I do? How do we come up with these ideas every week for videos? I don't know really. So I'm just sitting here thinking, I think I'm going to do a landscape, which is why I bought landscape sort of colours, but also I fancy doing something floral, so I might check out maybe Pexels or Pixabay or Unsplash, something like that, and find a nondescript landscape and see if I can find a pretty flower. Oh, that tea was actually cold. Yeah, I got this pencil case off of Amazon, but I don't know if it's going to be long enough for my Tombows. I thought it might be good to throw in a rucksack with some pens and pencils in to go plein air. And the beauty of this pencil case is it's got a zip here, and it zips all the way around like so. And then when you open it, you can fold it back like that. And so if you're out sketching, maybe in a cafe, or in the woods at a picnic bench or something like that. This is like a pen holder as well. And it also has, I don't know if you can see really in there, but it's like got little side pockets as well. Let's see if a Tombow fits in here. Oh yeah, perfect. So you can put your Tombows in there, you can put your Poscas in there. What else can you put in there? Pencils. And they fit in there nicely. So I'm pleased about that. I'll leave the link in the description below. I've got a nice mint green one. They didn't have any purple ones. But there you go. Fab. Okay, so I've now repositioned the camera so you're above and you can see what's going on. So these Tombow pens I originally got as a floral set, and they came with 5 pens, a water brush, which I've since given it away, I think, to my niece, a fine liner, which was a mono drawing pen, a pencil, an eraser, and a blending palette and watercolour guide. Now, when they say a blending palette, it literally is this. So you can put your Tombow on there, and I guess mix those together. And then let me just grab a paintbrush like so. So that's what they mean by a blending palette, which is really just a shiny piece of paper. Because these pens are watercolour pens and obviously water based. They're dual tipped, so you've got your brush at one end and you've got your fine nib at the other end, and you can draw with them, you can do lettering with them, you can use them like paint because they are water based. On these Tombows, it only has a number on here. It doesn't actually state what the colour is. And I've noticed that on the other side of the blending palette, which is very, very small text, so I've got a magnifying glass here. If you look through the magnifying glass, it's literally got all the numbers listed and what the colours are. So 757, which I thought was like a magenta, is actually called Port Red. I don't know how many colours there are, but there are lots. And I think I've only got 15 of the colours. But you can get them open stock in Jackson's Art. So you can collect them slowly but surely because they are quite expensive. And it depends what you're going to be using them for. So I have already swatched these out in my Sea Whites journal. And before I show you that, you can get a Tombow blender as well. This is, again, a brush pen. So instead of using water, you can use their blender. And it has got a little nib on the end of there. Now, I'll be telling big fibs if I said I'm an expert on this, because I'm not. I bought the blender because I thought it was the right thing to do, but I'm not sure I'm going to use it. So in my Sea Whites journal, I swatched all the colours out. There is an imposter here. This is a Faber-Castell Gold Faber Aqua, which is the same sort of thing. It's a dual marker. The difference with this one is it actually does have the name of the colour written on it, which is a sky blue, which is why I bought it. So here they are here. All the swatches have had water added to it. Then down here I thought I would try out the Tombow blender, and it started to actually lift the paper. So I didn't enjoy using the blender, but when I applied water with the brush pen, it seemed to blend much nicer. So I'm not convinced I need this. So these pens aren't refillable either. So when they run out, and then they have to be thrown away. I'm going to do some blending here just for demonstration purposes, and I'm going to use my new Faber-Castell water brush. This is a medium size and it's quite small, and the reason why I went for a small one is because I'm going to be going out plein air pretty soon. The weather's improved greatly here. There's lots of beautiful spring flowers around, and so I want to go as light as possible. So I'm going to go and fill this up and see how this paper fares rather than using up a page in my sketchbook. I found this daisy. I'm going to call it a daisy, but this beautiful pinky purpley flower on it's either Pixabay or Pexels. So I'm just going to do that in here. Let's take these out so they're easy to get to. I hope that's not too loud because the microphone is just there, so I apologise if anybody's a bit sensitive. Filled my brush pen up. Let's just do a quick shape. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do a quick shape at all. I'm going to see if these pens blend on this paper. I've got a feeling they're not going to, because it's not watercolour paper. I know it's mixed media paper, but I've noticed on these smooth surfaces it doesn't normally mix well, but we'll see. I could be eating my words. That's what having a play is all about. So there we go. Not too bad. Blending quite nicely actually. There we go. I don't want to keep going because it might make it a bit muddy. That's blended quite nicely. Just going to get a bit of kitchen towel. And what I'm going to do is what am I going to do? Let's draw a flower. So just looking at the one I've got on my iPad, I'm not going to make it really accurate because otherwise I'll be here all day. It's not going to be a wonderful botanical piece. This is just getting to know the pens. Let's go double layer. This is really hard drawing around the camera. Because you'll get my hair in the camera. Okay. So this isn't the best flower I've ever drawn, but it is just for demonstration purposes, and I really must stop saying that. Okay, let's go in with some pink and just see how well it spreads, because what happens when it dries is it like time is of the essence. Sort of. Well, it seems to be blending quite nicely. So I'm going to go over with some purple again in a minute. And I must admit, when I used these on holiday, I think I only used the one. That was was it port red, that I thought was like a magenta. And they were so, or it was so freeing. It was fun. And I really surprisingly enjoyed it. Enjoyed using the pens, and so I was inspired to come home and actually give them a go, and thought they'd be great for plein air. Now I want it darker under here, so I wonder if you can layer over the top with the purple. Let's see. And I'm concentrating quite hard, so you know what that means. It'll get me breathing down the camera. So this is quite nice, because I don't think the ink sets once it's wet. I think you could probably wet over again. So you could carry on blending. And then with the other end, you could go in and put some detail. So the lids don't necessarily correspond with the colour that comes out. Don't know if you can pick that up, but that's sort of a much darker grey. That, I don't know what colour that is, like a taupe. So it is good that you, if you're going to use these pens, to, you know, sort of swatch them out, I guess, beforehand. But I'm not going to get bogged down with the detail here now. It was just a quick demonstration. To see how you can use them. They're great fun. I think they'll be brilliant in a travel kit maybe. Oh, I don't like that now. Just, you know, gone too far. It's knowing when to stop. It's knowing when to stop. When it comes to paintings and artwork, do I want to go up here? No, see, didn't want to do it. Didn't want to do it, but I still went ahead and did it. Okay, so I'm just going over again with the sort of lilac colour, layering up. Which they do layer up really nicely. There we go. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's bring it a bit closer. There we go. One cheerful spring daisy using Tombow pens. So I've just come back after having a little break. I've got a proper cup of tea this time, and I've just treated myself to some chocolate biscuits as well. I know how to live. So, finished piece, bit of swatching on the side, worked fairly well on that paper. I think I'm going to try them out with a landscape now. So sort of pretending that I'm out plein air, and I'm going to go with my smaller Sea Whites journal. This is an A5. I'm starting to come to the end of this now. I'm going to go second to last page, I think, and I'll put you on a time lapse. I've just found a nondescript landscape. I think this was from Pexels. I can't remember who the photographer is, but it's royalty free, and I'm very grateful to these sites that provide their photographs for artists to use for free. So I'm going to do that here and speed you up. there. I really enjoyed doing that. The Tombows are lovely pens. I think they're going to be fantastic when I take them out plein air. Again, with all mixed media, it's about the layering, so the base layer is all Tombow. I then introduced some Derwent drawing pencils, some luminance, some polychromos, whatever colour I needed to add some tone. I even got out my cheapy Coldpart acrylic brush markers just to add in some bits of detail over the top, and they were really nice to use as well. So in conclusion, I got on pretty well with my Faber-Castell water brush, and I quite like the end results. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you use Tombow pens, and if you do, what your favourite colour is. I'm loving them. I love all the different colours, but there is a lot of colours, and to collect all of those will be a very expensive exercise. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with the pond, some footage of the pond. So I hope you enjoy. Next week I'm going to take you out plein air in the woods with a sketchbook and minimal supplies, just very quick 5-minute sketches, and off of the back of that I'm going to look at lightening up my plein air kit. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week. I thought I'd do a little update on the pond. It's been in for 2-3 weeks now. We've added some little plants, and we've got a little fairy watching over everything. We've seen water boatmen in here and pond skaters and little like midgy larvae. We won't be putting any fish in, but we're just waiting for it to sort of settle down and naturalise, and hopefully we'll get some newts and toads and all sorts of natural critters. Let's come around this way. We've got like what I call a beach area that sort of gently slopes into the pond. It just means anything that happens to fall in there, like Mildred the hedgehog, can safely come back up the beach and be happy and safe. The pigeons love it. They love having a little drink, and it's a real success.